and thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Natasha Kirchak here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. It's a familiar sight in Tel Aviv. After a major terrorist attack, the city hall has been lit up with the flag of the targeted country. But for the first time ever, Israel is showing solidarity with an Arab nation, and it's Egypt. On Friday morning, 29 Coptic Christians were killed in Egypt when an Islamic State gunman opened fire on their bus. The attack, coming on the eve of Ramadan, was the latest in a series of bombings, killings, and other persecutions that have targeted the minority Christian community. In April, 2 churches were targeted by suicide bombers on Palm Sunday, and in December, a Cairo church was the site of another suicide bombing. In total, more than 100 Copts have been killed by Islamist violence since December. The Copts are the largest and one of the oldest Christian communities in the Middle East. They still use a ritualistic version of the Egyptian language, but it's been largely superseded by Arabic. Rabin Square in Tel Aviv was absolutely packed last night with up to 20,000 people, and they weren't only protesting against the Netanyahu government but also calling for a Palestinian state. Speakers at the Two States One Hope rally included a host of left-wing politicians, and they had scathing criticisms of Prime Minister Netanyahu's right-wing coalition. Joint Arab List leader Ayman Odeh says that the increasingly radical government uses minorities as a punching bag. Meretz leader Zahava Galon is accusing Netanyahu of playing the victim and fleeing from responsibility when it comes to solving the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. And Isaac Herzog, the leader of Israeli opposition, is calling on the centrist Yesh Atid and the center-right Kulanu party to join him in a big political bloc. Herzog, who is facing primary challenges from his left, was reportedly booed by some of the crowd. He says a historic opportunity for regional talks to create a regional coalition was recently derailed, and it was all because of Netanyahu's political insecurities. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has made an endorsement in the 2017 French legislative elections, and this one is close to home. The Prime Minister has endorsed Mayor Habib, a French Jew who represents French citizens living abroad in the Mediterranean. And along with expats in Greece, Turkey, and Cyprus, he represents the some 200,000 French Israelis. Habib is from the center-right Les Républicains party, and his pro-Israel stance has found favor with Netanyahu. On May 24th, the Prime Minister put out a video on social media where, standing next to Habib, he hailed him as someone who loves France, is loyal to France, but also really loves French-Israeli ties. Netanyahu says Habib has personally launched an initiative to increase Israeli-French security cooperation and has been advocating for the interests of French Olim. In 2015, Habib issued an ultimatum to the Israeli government, calling on Israel to recognize the academic degrees of medical professionals and threatening to work against Aliyah if changes did not occur. The Palestinian Authority might have gone too far, and Norway is not happy. After the PA named a women's center in the West Bank after the perpetrator of a terrorist attack that killed 38 people, including 13 children, the Norwegian foreign minister put out a harsh statement. And no wonder. Norway's been footing the bill for some of the project. Foreign Minister Borge Brende says that Norway didn't know the center would be named after one of the attackers in the 1978 Coastal Road massacre. He's calling for the Palestinians to return the funds that the Scandinavian country provided them and to take Norway's logo off of the building. A local village leader says that the center will focus especially on the struggle of martyr Dalal Mughrabi and on presenting it to youth groups. That's according to the Palestinian Media Watch NGO. But it turns out this is far from the first thing that the PA has named after Mughrabi and the other terrorists of the Coastal Road massacre. Mughrabi has a youth camp named after her, several streets, and even a girls' basketball tournament. A Druze Knesset member of the Likud party is set to become communications minister, according to a statement released today by the Prime Minister's office. Ayub Kara, formerly a minister without portfolio, will be replacing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as communications minister. The Prime Minister has resigned the position as a result of ongoing investigations into alleged collusion with media outlets. Likud MK Tzachi Hanegbi has served as interim communications minister over the last few months, but Netanyahu is reportedly dissatisfied with his performance. Kara, a member of the Arabic-speaking Druze community from northern Israel, is known for his right-wing Zionist stance. His father fought in the Haganah in the Israeli War of Independence and has voiced his opposition to demolitions of Jewish settlements and territorial withdrawals. Kara will be the first non-Jewish Israeli to hold the position of communications minister. That's all for now. I'm Natasha Kirchek, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.